We all know that Enderman language is a thing. But what if I told you there was a way to actually speak it? I used inspiration from multiple sources to come up with a verbal version of Ender. Speaking Enderman Part 1 Pronunciation. Each letter in the Ender alphabet has a certain pronunciation. Here's an example of how this is used in a word.
Dwodewoid jedegcheon mioes oesias mion jadogioid yodma dodok yaphet chad se emat piade duosag dio nodmaya yadodok. Jaiwa se haimis yasiots yap ewiho yodo idem goyoraik tirotimion ne jaiwo jodeg udemo ridwisiots. Oes tepedeg yo chimon hedod mu zegoyased jas widiusio ne somsen roge gulden. Ja oeod nesemio sewod reg iegot tuatok piaden. Odziwi!
Speaking Enderman Part 2 Glottal Stops. When translating, you may find yourself with a word that has too many consonants squished together, like this. When this happens, we can add a glottal stop. This helps create room to fully pronounce the word and let others understand what you're saying. You may be asking, what exactly is a glottal stop? A glottal stop is a sound caused by closing the throat muscles when pronouncing a word, forming a pausing rhythm. See, mad. Glottal stops at the end of words work a lot like silent es in English, as in right, you don't pronounce them. Of course there are exceptions to this rule, like the word yoaim, as it's necessary to distinguish between the root word yai and the current. Speaking Enderman Part 3 Letter Pronunciation.
Ies erodewo ijumeoeste hitse hesayan neodne odget yasyan. Y ch he d r he o ya wa a i u e wo u g n s I p j t y k.
get Ender for your keyboard. Speaking Enderman Part 4. Numbers.
Seis, soch, rech, ria, niet, nude, diahus, uia, sed. Sesej, sesoch, sera, seria, sena, senu, seda, sewa, jesed. Jesse, jeso, gera, geria, jena, genu, geria, jewa, sosed. Rad, riad, niad, nued, diad, wiad, osed. Josed, hosed, roset, riosed, niosed, nurosed, diosed, wiosed.
I'm so glad you asked this question. Speaking Ender part? Words and abbreviation. In Ender, most words are formed through direct translation from English, as their alphabet system is nearly identical. But because direct translation can make things a little clunky, we will abbreviate words, like Bidencia. Bidencia means question, but if you directly translated question you would get this. That word on its own is very hard to say, so we cut out the wu to make it easier. Abbreviated words in Ender are the equivalent of slang in other languages. So you can say directly translated words in Ender, but you will sound very old-fashioned and formal. Some guides to abbreviation.
یادم صدقه موچم صدقه چخه مودی موچمسا یکش میاسیا موسیقیمیا ستیاگردگن سیامون سیدمی would his etiquette just so over Tommy taborai charet yes pedega you young always you I saw remember you'll remember you'll remember you'll remember you'll remember.
Speaking Ender Part 6. Names. This is one I should have covered sooner, but oh well. Names in Ender have very specific rules. They must always be 2 syllables long, and they have meanings that are chosen based on your personality. How to get your Ender name? First, choose your meaning, then, translate it into Ender, then cut it down into 2 syllables. You may end up with multiple variations of a name, just pick the one you like most. Now you have your Ender name. You can now use this name when introducing yourself to other Ender speakers. I hope this was helpful, and you enjoyed it. I should have more videos about Ender grammar out soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Speaking Ender Part 7. Pronouns. Pronouns are one of the more complicated things to learn in Ender. So hopefully I do an okay job explaining it. In Ender, pronouns are used like suffixes, they go at the end of a verb. Like this. Pronouns are shortened in this form. Here are some examples. Now this pronoun grammar is really only used in Doyu Ender spoke in the end. And if you were to not use this grammar when speaking to a Doyu Enderman, you would sound overly formal and polite. In Zakyu Ender overworld Ender pronoun grammar is not used. It is more common to say the pronoun before the verb. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. Speaking Ender Part 7. Ender for beginners. As per many requests, here's some common and basic phrases to know.
어디에 이어 오미전 야치체 이차이 오에스 해니요아이 연이 예 야예굿 야 오야 오디오 유nud somsian unidad 오에스 메겐 요아이 야이 페데기오 해 에야 유 nud 왜
어디에 이어 오미전 위아치세 이차이 오에세니묘아이 야미 리게 야 야프티아 오야 오디오 유요드 솜시안 우미다이 오에스메게디오아이 야이 페데기오 해 에야 윰 요드 way.
Speaking Ender Part 8. Honorifics. For those who don't know, honorifics are words such as Mr., Mrs., Mex, Ma'am, and Sir. In English they're usually used when being polite. For all you weebs, Japanese honorifics are words such as san, chan, and kun. Ender honorifics work very similarly to Japanese honorifics.